All right, y'all. These last Wednesdays of the month are killing me. Howdy, I'm American Texan, and I love comic books, specifically reading comic books, enjoying the stories inside of the books and the art inside. We'll let other channels deal with the drama. We're here to enjoy the medium, the stories, the heroes, the characters, the villains, the fallings, the rising ups, all the things that make the medium great. And I'm glad you're here, and subscribe if you want to see more comic talk that is strictly about the comics. I'm going to share what we get at the comic shop. I'm going to share what we're reading from both the big two, the indies, and the crowdfunders. And if you like what you see, like the video at any time. We are running a giveaway. We have just a few days left for the first 100 subscribers, or celebrating the first 100 subscribers. We're up to 125 now, which is pretty cool. For that giveaway, anyone, not just the first ones, can comment on videos in February 2026 with the caption or the comment free 100, and you'll be entered into a drawing to win a few books. I just have a couple here. We've got Batman Adventures Mad Love Facsimile #1 and Geiger Volume 1 Trade, one of my favorite stories of all time. But I never doubt the internet. If we can hit 200 subscribers in the next 3 days, I'll be giving away a second giveaway for the, guys, I'm tired. It's 10:30. It's been a long day. Junkyard Joe Deluxe Hardcover Edition here. But I want to share specifically on Wednesdays what I'm getting at the comic shop. This week, at the end of the month, the last Wednesdays, it seems like all the books that I'm pulling come out at once. For me, it's like drip, 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 and then everything comes out at once. So I'm excited to share this with you. It is going to be quite a bit, but we're going to go through the big two, Marvel and DC, then also the off-the-shelf indies from companies like Dark Horse or Boom or Oni Press or Dynamite or Image, any of the ones that you'll find at your LCS. And then I'll share several Kickstarters that came in. All the printing presses went live again, and I had a whole bunch of books show up on my doorstep I'm going to share with you here. So like I said, we start with the Marvel, and usually Marvel's pretty light, but it looks like we've got 5 books here. I'm excited for this one, Punisher #1. I've been hearing good things so far. No spoilers yet. Benjamin Percy writing this. I really, really liked Punisher Red Band. It's a return to classic Frank Castle, so I'm excited to get that going. And then we also got Iron Man #2, and it says on the corner here, this is a variant edition. I'm not sure why my shop didn't give me the A cover like I normally pull, but it's Marvel, so I'm not complaining because the variants cost the same as the A covers, and it's not a bad cover, so I'm here for it. I'm excited to read that one. I'm enjoying everything that Josh Williamson is doing. And then we've also got Hulk Smash Everything. I am super excited for this one. Spoilers for issue 2 at the very end. The leader uses some teleportation, timey-wimey stuff, or I guess spacey-wacy stuff, to teleport the Hulk to the edge of a black hole. And I think a great comic shop debate topic is, can Hulk survive being thrown into a black hole? It's physically no, but it's the Marvel universe, so who knows? So I'm excited to read what happens there. And then it's a Hulk week because we've got The Infernal Hulk by PKJ. I was kind of like more into it for the Hulky stuff of it. We're getting a lot more of the Elder Gods and a lot more of Bruce and Betty Ross. Is it Betty or Betsy? I always get it wrong. Doing civvy life. But I didn't really care for the civilian life, but I got turned around. I think I'm actually invested in the characters there, so I'm excited to read that one. And then we got the finale for this supposedly ongoing when they announced it. Get it together, Marvel. Spider-Man and Wolverine. This is the best book that Marvel's putting out in the last 10 months, and I'm excited to see it end. Carrie Andrews is doing some really good stuff. Guggenheim has written a great story, so I'm excited to see how that ends, and I highly recommend the trade if you want to get that. And then we do have a facsimile, Daredevil. Just because Punisher's on the cover, I wanted to get it. This is Daredevil 183. I'm getting all the facsimiles that feature Daredevil. I got the Spider-Man ones, and then I also got Daredevil. I think I actually have a real first print of the second appearance of Daredevil and Spider-Man, or it might have been the first appearance on the cover. No, it wouldn't be the first appearance on the cover. Anyways, I like collecting like classic Punisher stuff, so I'm excited to have this at least in the facsimile form so I can see, what Punisher was doing with Daredevil here. So I think that's pretty cool. I like that. So those are all the Marvels. Let's go into the DC. All right, for DC, we've got 11 books here, some big books, as you can see, because I love the big format. Starting with, we usually go in release order. Oh yeah, I guess this is the earliest book I have. Book 3 of Batman Second Night. A beautiful, just sit down with a cup of coffee and enjoy this. I'm going to be drinking a lot of coffee this week, I guess, reading all these books. Beautiful art. This is written by Dan Jurgens, illustrated by Mike Perkins, and it shows. It's great. Jurgens writes a really cool Depression era Batman. Absolute Martian Manhunter. I did already go ahead and read this before this at my son's soccer practice. I read this and the next Absolute book. I enjoyed this one. I didn't think it was as strong as the other issues, but it was still a good read, still interesting, and I'm really invested in the relationship between John Johns and his wife, and this one is really centered around that. So I thought it was really good. I didn't think it was deep as everyone thinks it is, but I still really enjoyed it. And I also super enjoyed Absolute Wonder Woman number 17. The battle in this, I should have looked at the cover more because this is the main battle of the book. I was expecting more with Zatanna. She kind of disappears towards the beginning, but man, this was a really fun read. Of course, you get the classic great chef's kiss Hayden paneling, but the art is really great, and Diana is fierce in this as well. So I really, really enjoyed that one. And then some DCKO tie-ins. We've got Justice League Unlimited number 16. I think we're wrapping up all the tie-ins. This one, and Justice League Unlimited, 2 teams split. One's fighting a cult and one's going to hell. It's all right. I really grew to love this one, which is why, if you're reading a book and it's starting to get kind of cool, at least finish the arc, because as I was cooling down on this and thought, man, this isn't for me, it really picked up, and now I'm really invested. I'm really excited to see how it ends with this little timey-wimey Impulse arc there that's kind of doing like Omega Speed Force versus regular Speed Force. Omega Force, I guess, is what they're calling it. Really interesting story. And then we've also got the finale of the arc, Superman. I think this is talking about Doomsday's, is it Doomsday or Time Trapper? Yeah, Doomsday / Time Trapper. Their origin story, or how he became Time Trapper. I don't know exactly, but I think it'll be really good, and I'm excited to see how this ends. Like I said, it's a good week to read Joshua Williamson. All right, then we got DC Vertigo. This is Chris Condon's newest book here. I like Condon. He's hit and miss for me, but he's more hit for me. Obviously, he writes some good Western stuff. We've got The Peril of the Brutal Dark. So this is like a mystery noir story kind of thing. I'll check it out. Condon's got if it's the right genre for Condon, I will check it out. Is it Condon or Condone? I don't know. And then we've got the finale here: Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong, Volume 2, Issue 7. This one is okay. I really, really like the first one. I think this will read better as a trade, which is actually how I read the first volume. But it's still all right. And if you watch the Apple TV show, it's on the tip of my tongue, starts with an M. You see a little bit more about the characters that are kind of some of the MonsterVerse environment characters. A lot of those show up in the book, so I was kind of like, I know that name, so I thought that was good. Monarch, that was the show and the company I'm thinking of, Monarch. All right, then we got Green Lantern 32. This series, I think we're building up to 500. There's going to be some romance or something, so this is kind of teasing that or leading up to it with this ring. I've been enjoying the idea of what's going on with Green Lantern, like having the yips or trying to figure out what's going on with the not Parallax, it's the other guy that's kind of like inhabiting him. Hasn't quite struck all the chords I was hoping it would, but I'm still in it for the long haul. Nothing Jeremy Adams is doing is turning me off for Green Lantern. All right, then we got a reprint here, or excuse me, a facsimile, number 419, Action Comics, number 419. This is The Most Dangerous Man on Earth. So I don't know anything about this story. I don't think it's the second part to Man of Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow. If it is, I feel bad for not remembering that because I really want to read that. But I think this is something else. Someone tell me in the comments what the main storyline, why did they reprint this one? What popular story is that? And then I'm excited for this one because I love these. These are, if you have a great coffee table book, sit down with a cup of coffee and read this book and enjoy it. This one is sit down with a beer. I like to go to the game room, sit down with a beer and read these huge facsimiles here. This is Secret Origins Supervillains. So, I guess this is kind of centering around all the origins of the villains. I think that's pretty cool. All of the kind of big rogues gallery villains. You got Lex Luthor, Captain Cold, Joker, of course. Don't know who the Doctor is. Dr. Sivana. I don't know too much about Shazam. And then you've got Sinestro and the Cheetah. I think this will be a really, really fun read towards the end of the night. All right, and now let's take a look at all the indies, and that's the stack. All right, and here are my off-the-shelf indies at the comic shop. Most of them are pulled, but there's actually a couple of them that I got off the shelf. There are 14 books in this thing, man. I'm going to be reading all weekend, but I'm going to enjoy it. My wife's going to go out of town with some family, do some family stuff, and I'll be home with the kids. You know, we'll have some activities. We'll go to the farmer's market. We'll play some soccer. But, you know, when she's gone, if it's nap time or when the kids are in bed, it really is just me time. So I get to read these comics late night, stay up late, and just enjoy having some quiet me time. And I got plenty of comics, so I guess it's a good time to have the end of the month, a weekend full of comics. So I'm excited to read all these. So we've got Murder Drones. This one I bought for the hype. A lot of people in the shop were excited for it. My LCS kind of showed up, and she's like, she had like 14 copies, and they were all gone within pretty quick. I would say not all gone. I think she had probably 15 copies on her pre-release show. On Tuesday nights, they do a pre-release show where they talk about the Wednesday books, and you can claim a book to pick up on Wednesday. You can't look inside the book, but you can like say, hey, I'll get that. And it's almost like a pre-order. But anyways, she had like 15 of these Murder Drones through different variants, and almost all of them went in that 1 hour pre-order show. She doesn't sell all of them, so she has enough for the shelf. But yeah, so I was like, I guess I got to check this out. I don't know too much about it. I guess it's real popular with the young ones, so maybe my daughter will like it. But this is from Oni Press, Murder Drones. Interested to see what that is. This one was curious because it was recommended. You got a guy at the comic shop that kind of like the same things, and so if they're interested in something, you think, oh, I should probably be interested in that. I'm not following any of the Universal monster stories, but Phantom of the Opera, they said that this is very much a noir mystery type story. I don't know too much about the Phantom of the Opera, and like I said, I'm not getting any of the other Universal monster books, although those are very popular at my LCS, but I'm always down for a good mystery, and I do have a music degree. That's why I do YouTube now. That's why I make these videos and read comic books. So I'll be interested to see if the story's any good. I got the issue 0 of this Save Now, and it was super interesting. So this is issue 3. I need to go find issue 1 and 2, but Bad Idea seems to be putting out some really good stuff, like with the consistency and quality of Ghost Machine. So if you recognize Ghost Machine and you like Ghost Machine, I would say check out Bad Idea, because they seem to be putting out the same type of quality stuff. A lot longer between releases than Ghost Machine, and some people are already frustrated with how frequently Ghost Machine takes breaks. I think Bad Idea, some books just come out quarterly, but I think the quality is definitely worth waiting for. And then we've got Wrestle Heist number 3 with Kyle Starks here. This is a lot of fun. This is picking up hype as well in our LCS. They only had 1 on the shelf when I got there. So thankfully, this is in my pull box. So always make sure to pull this so they can pre-order stuff for you ahead of time. You don't have to worry about stuff going from the shelf. But Kyle Starks is writing a really funny story here. Very comedic, very cartoony, but it's interesting. If you even if you don't watch wrestling right now, if you watched it at any point when you were younger, you'll get the jokes. Yeah, I think you can enjoy it without enjoying wrestling, but you'll get more out of it if you understand wrestling. All right, and then we got Final Boss. This one is just an artful delight. You know, they say you read books either for the story or the art. I read it for the story, but when there's great art and even just a little bit of story, as long as there's enough story, I will still really enjoy it. And that's kind of what Final Boss is. There's a little bit of story here. There might be more that I'm just missing, but the art is what really makes it. This book is really is like what the DC KO what was it? All Fight Month. That Final Boss book is exactly what All Fight Month should have been. And then we got Capes number 4 here. Now we're still in the original run of Capes. This is technically a reprint, is my understanding, but this is going into the second arc. So I'm excited to see what that is. I thought the first arc ended well. I'm interested to see where it goes. I wouldn't say I'm too excited, but I'm interested. And then we got Ferocious. This one's a sleeper, and shout out to the commenter that said that they picked it up and really enjoyed it. I'm enjoying this one a lot. I think it's such a unique story with a unique hook about someone who wants to kill this demon, and the demon's like, well, come alongside me and let me show you what I do and how I kill, and then maybe you'll learn how to kill me. And it's almost like this kid is this demon's pet, so you're rooting for the kid, and it doesn't do this thing where like they try to force empathy onto this demon that's done horrible things like they do with orcs nowadays, it seems. No, she's a bad guy. She enjoys being a bad guy, and there might be some reasons why, you know, she had a rough upbringing, or it's hard because maybe she's like the last of her kind or whatever, but it doesn't excuse things. You're still rooting for the kid to kill her, right? To learn how to kill her. But it's an interesting story as he tags along and all that. So then we also got Supernatural number 5. We're at a make or break point. Hopefully they figured out the artists. If this thing has multiple artists, I'm pulling it because I can't stand it. I want to like the book, but after 5 issues plus a letdown on a St. Valentine's Day special, just not really caring for it too much. So hopefully that will surprise me. And then we've got Escape number 6. Again, this was one that I was cool on. Forgot to remove from my pull list, so I went ahead and read number 2 and was sucked right back in. And I think it's been really good. It hasn't been as talky as the first issue was. That kind of turned me off. These are really getting into now some action, quite some great character development and stories. It just doesn't have to sit there and talk to you about it. So I'm really enjoying that one. And then one of my favorite books, definitely, you talk about reading for the art with just a little bit of story. This one is all art. It does have some pretty good story, but it's easy to overlook because of the art. This is Skin Breakers, number 6. I am getting the Treasury Edition. I think this is number 6. Yeah, number 6. I am getting the Treasury Edition. They actually special order these for me. I didn't see any on the shelf. But man, this is just so beautiful, a joy to read. And like I said, sit down with a cup of coffee and just take it all in. So I'm excited for that one. And then I also got the reprint, the second print of Assorted Crisis Events number 8. Look, I understand it's a great book. I haven't seen enough hype for me to check out the other issues, but I hear this one was really good, and it's right up my alley because it's printed on newsprint, and it uses the comic medium well and effectively. So I'm like, yes, I will definitely want to try it. Missed out on the first print because I didn't pre-order it, and my shop was already sold out when I got there, whenever it came out. But I'm glad I got the second print. In fact, I pre-ordered the second print. All right, and then we got Hyde Street, back from the dead, so to speak. Issue 10 here. I think they had a couple months off. Excited to see what's going on here. Looks like we've got the what is her name? I can't remember her name. It's a clever name. Sisterhood. There we go. Sisterhood, and she's got the monkey thing. I don't know if that's the Cub Scout or not. And then we got the Power Fantasy. I believe this is the finale here. When I saw this cover, you don't see much on the cover, but when I saw it and you know what's going on in the story, you know this is the last issue, I literally was like, oh wow, in the shop. I was going through all my pulls and I was like, oh wow, and I stopped. So good on them for like having this interesting cover. It's not much, but this is an example of like less is more. I think that's actually a cool idea. And then we've got last indie off the shelf here, Conan the Barbarian, number 29. And I'm assuming this is starting a new story because the last one was about Conan being crowned to be king, and now we're going into a new story. I don't know anything about it. It's on the Pullbox. It's a consistent monthly read, so I'm super excited for that. And now let's take a look at some of the trades that I got, because I got some kind of spur of the moment trade picks. Now, the only trade that was on my Pullbox was the Justice League New 52 by Jeff Johns, Volume 3. Man, I got Volume 1, 2, and 3 now, so I'm super excited for these. I don't know when I'm going to read them, but I know I'm going to enjoy them. And this one really intrigues me because it says on the back, the solicit on the back, heroes have fallen, so villains must fight. So I don't know what happened to the heroes, but now the villains, I guess, are the good guys or trying to save the world. I don't know. That sounds super interesting. But I got Justice League Book 3 by Jeff Johns, and this is a new release. And then I also went ahead and got Across the Massive Verse. I am collecting the trades for Radiant Black, Radiant Pink, and all the other ones. And so I figured this is part of it, so I went ahead and got it so I could have it to the collection to read someday. And then I also got Mr. Terrific Year 1. I wanted to get the Johnny Quest trade that came out, but they sold out before I got there. It's crazy. I guess congratulations, Joe Casey, because that he was the reason I wanted it. They had this one. I heard a couple people say that this was good, and I decided to go ahead and flip through it, and there was a page in here that caught my attention and just took my breath. I don't think it was this one, but I love the Kirby Crackle there that they got with all the cosmic stuff going on. That art looks really good. And there was a couple pages that I was like, holy cow, this looks great. Yeah, it was here, this page. This looks great. This looks like some pretty cool action. So I figured I'd check it out. Again, I heard just enough to be curious, and the art sold me on it. So I'll check it out. And I think that's a good reminder of the discussion, story versus art. I mean, art can hook you in with the aesthetics, but the story is what keeps you. So the story is, will I finish it? I don't know. All right, and then we got 6 what I call true indie books coming in. These are crowdfunds, Kickstarters, everything that you can't really get on the comic shelves at your LCS or find at the store, but you can find online. It's almost like the new underground, what I call the true indie books. First, we've got from Veloria here, Heathen and Sketch Night. These are part of the Rook City universe. I'm not familiar with it. I'm going to totally butcher it, but it sounds kind of like the Mutants. It's in a world where you get superheroes from genetic mutations, and so people have kind of when they're babies, they get these superpowers. So I thought that sounded interesting. Sketch Night is the one that recently came out. I went ahead and got Haven, which I think is the book that comes before it. I think it was part of the catch-up tier, so I'm excited to check that out. And then I need to double check. I think I got another double issue order here. This one is Palace of the Golden Princess. This is like a more adult fantasy book. It comes from an old D&D. I don't know if it was a module or a campaign or a whole system, but it was too risque, I guess, back then. So now they're updating it, and for some reason I got 2 number 5s. So maybe I'm going to double check if I should have gotten 2, if they want it back. If not, I might add this to the February giveaway as a duplicate that I have, so you can enjoy that as well. My understanding too, I think you can just jump in at any time. I might be incorrect on that, but you can at least enjoy it for what it is. And then I'm super excited for this one. Came with a couple other things as well. We've got Zen Bounty Wars. This is from First Comics, and First Comics I think was the first ones. Remember how I was describing Ghost Machine? Like, they don't put out too much, but what they put out is super quality. First Comics, a lot of what they put out, I really, really enjoy. So I wanted to check this out. This is some of their new releases. This is Zen Bounty Wars Intergalactic, Ninja. So this is a bounty hunter that basically does bounty hunting in space. Sounds awesome. Got these 2 issues here, 1 and 2 signed, and it came with these stickers and came with trading cards. So I'm super excited for that one. We got a regular trading card here. This is... Does it say who it is? Zen. And then we've also got a Zen foil trading card. I'm just trying to get the shiny there. There we go. So that's cool. And not only is it foil, it's also signed. I might have to put this on my trophy shelf behind me because that is super cool. So I'm excited to read those indies as well. So there you have it. I got a lot to read and a lot to talk about. I hope I'm reading something that you're reading, or I hope you get to read some of these books. So subscribe, because I will be talking about the DC and Marvel books on Friday or Saturday, and then I'll be talking about the indies either at the end of the weekend, Monday. Sometimes they come out on Tuesday. Just depends on how crazy the family life is. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate your time and attention. Let's nerd out in the comments, like and subscribe and all the YouTube stuff, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Adios.